Bible Hashem Kodash. Double honors to the Apostle, Elders, the great millstone I rule well. Peace and salutation to all that I came doing and pushing His word in sincerity and truth worldwide, and a sincere shalom to the elect. Now, this goes into a video. Well, first this one right here, and I'll put up the link to this video right here, and the brother's video right here too as well. Okay, Christianity is a virus that made us sick, and that's right. Okay, that wicked plantation Christianity bullshit made our people sick in the head because it's not coming in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. It's coming in another image. Okay, and we're gonna get into the scriptures right now because that wicked ass plantation Christianity makes you think that you could do whatever you want and you still be saved if you believe, which is bullshit. Okay, like the brother, I think his name is Amawang Gabar, has said before, in a little short, he goes, love is action, man. Remember, Yahweh Shai said that I didn't come to destroy the law. And no, you're not going to be saved by the law, but rehearsing the righteous acts, right? Rehearsing the righteous acts and keeping that faith in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, right? And chiefly, if you're the elect. What? Let me go into this. Christianity, Wakitaki, WTC is a virus that made us sick. Yeah, because, Yahweh Shai said, what? I only came to do this once, man. You didn't come to do it twice, 3 times, 4 times. You didn't come to do it like how the priests used to do it before. Priests used to, Day of Atonement, you go to the priest and, you atone for your sins. Or sacrifice, a bullock or so on and so forth. But, Yahweh Shai didn't come like that, man. He didn't come like some daily sacrifice, as it tells you, right? What the priest was doing, right? So here it is, our people in the same type of mindset, with this wacky-tacky, this WTC type mindset that, if they believe the blood of Christ, as they would say, will cleanse them. No, he only came to do this once, man. And he did it once, and he did it for who? Chiefly his elect. Okay, he didn't do this for the whole world, as they would say. No. He did this for his elect, and his elect are gonna follow through. Okay, because love is an action, right? Keep his commandments. That's the love. Keep his commandments. So, anyways, let's go into this real quick, man, because this is what wacky-tacky Christianity breeds, okay? So, pastors doing things with kids, etc. And another question, where's vocab Haman at so-called defender of the gospel? And God Logic, Samus, all them, right? And all the rest of them. No, too busy chasing the Hebrew Israelites, And yes, LOL, you have to laugh at that. So 2/3 of our people are caught off guard by what? Esau's drink, okay, aka his philosophies, have made them sick. Okay, going back to what the brother said right here, Christianity is a virus that made our people sick, and it's true. Okay, this is why Habakkuk. Let's go to it real quick. It's 2:15 or 2? Yeah, 2:15. Slakia, warn to him that giveth his neighbor drink, that putteth the bottle to him, and maketh him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness. Okay? And what is that? That's going into philosophies. And this is what our people have drunken. Okay? They're drunken at WTC. Okay? Don't worry, as long as you believe, the blood of Christ will cleanse you. Okay? And this is what they're falling for. They're falling for that false imagery. Okay, let's go into this real quick. Revelation chapter 11 and verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which is which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, which is which is called Sodom and Egypt. Okay, let me go back into it again. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which is going into Babylon, us not knowing who we are, dead bodies. And you can go into in Ezekiel chapter 37, if I'm not mistaken, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified, which means the image was X'd out. Okay, when you go into the Renaissance period, you'll find out say that, they took out the image, took down all the imagery of us and put up their own imagery. Okay, so going back into this, right? This is the philosophies that our people have drunken. They've drunken of that blue-eyed, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, blue-eyed, blonde-haired hippie. Okay, trying to take up the image that he is. No, what comes with that philosophy is rape, destruction, incest. Because when you check out the history on who they put up, Cesar Bonjour, that guy, if I'm not mistaken, was having sex with his own sister, and if I'm not mistaken, the father too. Okay, so that's what comes with that imagery. Okay, that blue-eyed, blonde-haired, that Jebus, the Christ, right? And his name was not no Jebus because that J wasn't invented till 15 something by John Trissino. Okay, so what was his name? His name is Yahweh Shai. Okay, and there's meaning within his name. So going back into this, our people have been deceived by that image, and they've been deceived, right, by that whole, what comes with the name, right, which is do whatever you want, do as thou will. You only live once, right? That's that whole thing right there. As long as you believe, you're good, which is bullshit. Okay, that's not what the Father wants. The Father don't want that. The Son don't want that. Okay, let me get this. John chapter 17 and verse 16. John chapter 7 and verse 16. Yahweh Shai answered them and said, my doctrine is not mine, but his that sent me. And who sent him? Yahweh Shai. Yahweh. Okay, sent him. So what they're speaking right now is not of Yahweh and not of Yahweh Shai. It's a falsehood. And what are people, you can read the scriptures, man, and you can see, like I said, Yahweh Shai didn't come to change the law, statutes, and commandments, man. But here it is, these people out here eating pork under that WTC doctrine, okay, that wacky-tacky plantation doctrine, okay, that wacky-tacky Christianity doctrine, okay. So, this is why people are so sick. They're coming under the wrong thing. Even the scriptures say, well, let me get there real quick. It says the whole head is sick, man, because they're coming in the wrong way. Okay? They don't know their power. Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel doeth not know, my people doeth not consider. O a sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken Yahweh, They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are gone away backward. Why should ye be stricken any more? Ye will revert more and more. The whole head is sick, and the whole heart faint. The whole head is sick, man. And sick from what? Those philosophies, these nations, man. It tells you, let me go here real quick. Psalms 106, Slovakia, and 34. Yeah, Psalms 106 and 35. But they were mingled among the heathen and learned their works, and they served their idols, which were a snare unto them. They, yea, they sacrificed their sons and their daughters unto devils. Okay, they served their idols, okay, which were a snare unto them. Okay, they were mingled among the heathen and learned their works. Okay, this is why our people are so sick in the head, because they don't know their power. Okay, they're lost. Was that Jeremiah chapter 5 and 4? Okay, and Jeremiah, what is it, 7 and 38? I went to it earlier in the last video. Okay, but anyways, let's go back into this. Going off of their let's just say Jeremiah chapter 17 and 9. Their whole head is sick, right? The heart, meaning the mind, is deceitful above all things, and desperately wicked. Who can know it? You see, we pray unto Yahweh Shem Yahushua. This is what it says right here. You know, blessed is the man that trusts in Yahweh Shem Yahushua, right? But they don't know their power. They don't care about that. They don't consider. Going back into Isaiah chapter 1 and 3 and 4, right? And 5, right? They don't consider their power. They don't know. They don't care. They take the philosophies of this WTC and other philosophies too, you know, Islam and so on and so forth, but that's not for them. This is why the scriptures say, and I brought this out earlier too, you know, necessary patience in seeking Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Ecclesiastes chapter 20 and verse 32, necessary patience in seeking Yahweh Shem Yahushai is better than he that leadeth his life without a guide. That WTC, that wacky-tacky Christianity bullshit is you're leading a life without a guide, man. You should know that, you know, you're a Hebrew Israelite. You're not one of these people out here, okay? It's Christianity bullshit. That's lies. That's deceit, okay? Telling you that you can eat pork. You could do, you know, whatever you want as long as you believe in JC, Jebus the Christ. And that's not even his name, okay? Yeah, WTC is a virus, man. Okay, this is what it breeds, man. What does it say? Dope smoking pedophile preacher. Okay, with HIV status, man. Okay, and then this one, sick Christian pastor sends lewd photos to boy. Where's vocab, man? Where's the defender of the doctrine, man? Okay, this is why the Lord said that He sent you, pastors. This is why we're out here teaching you the real way. Because it's according to his mind, Jeremiah chapter 3 and 15. And I will give you pastors according to mine heart, according to his mind, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. Okay, and that's what you guys keep rejecting it. That's your business. That's your fault. Because you keep drinking, you know, as they would say, life after life after life after life. Every time you keep getting reincarnated, you keep going back to the same shit. Romans 15 and 4, written aforetime for our learning. Ecclesiasticus, you know, where it tells you that nothing new is under the sun. Your spirit's not new under the sun. Job chapter 4 and 7, whoever died being innocent, a baby could come into the world, get licked down. What did baby do? Yeah, he lived a past life, man. Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 8. Now go write it before them in a table and note it in a book, that it may be for the time to come forever and ever, that this is a rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of Yahweh, which say to the seer, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits. You see that? Prophesy deceits, speak smooth things, speak right things, the things that we want. It's too hard to follow Yahweh by Shemel Shai, right? As a matter of fact, it tells you that in Malachi chapter 3. It tells you that your words, and 13, your words have been stout against me, saith Yahweh, yet ye say, what have we spoken so much against thee? Ye have said, it is vain to serve Yahweh. And what profit is it that we have kept his ordinance, and that we have walked mournfully before Yahweh of hosts? Okay, you could go on to read the rest, but going back into that, uh, let's get back here. Okay, which say to the seer, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy unto us right things, meaning in your mind, you know, it tells you in Proverbs chapter 3 and 5, don't lean to your own understanding, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits. Also, it tells you that there's a way that seemeth right unto man, but the end thereof is death. And y'all satisfied with that. Y'all satisfied with the so-called white man's philosophies, with Esau's philosophies, and the scriptures telling you don't bank on that. Don't go for that, because that's the way of deceit. That's the way of destruction. Okay, Lord has enmity against him, man. He's an enemy. Okay, he's your brother, and he's an enemy of Yahweh Shem Shai. You know, let that be figured out. Okay, but anyways, going back into this, get ye out of the way. Turn us, and when I say brother, I mean from the womb of with Isaac, Jacob, and Esau, right? Get ye out of the way, turn aside out of the path, cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us. And that's right. You want the deception. You want, you know, the easy path, okay? And that's not what the Lord wants for you. The Lord gave you those pastors, okay? So you could listen and follow through, okay? But you ain't doing that. You said, fuck that, I'm out, okay? As a matter of fact, let's go to that real quick. And though the Lord give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner any more, but thy eyes shall see thy teachers, and thine ears shall hear a word behind thee, saying, this is the way, walk ye in it. When he turned to the right hand, and when he turned to the left. And y'all is not following those instructions, man. The Lord gave you teachers to show you the way. Okay, this is why it says that what? Drink waters out of thine own cistern, right? Proverbs chapter 5 and 15. Drink waters out of thine own cistern, and running waters out of thine own well. And also, too, let me see, is that 3? No, I can't remember. Okay. Yeah, 3. Proverbs 5 and 3. For the lips of a strange woman drop as a honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil. Okay? That's why you shouldn't, stay, you know, far from these different philosophies, man. Okay? Stay away from them. And I think there's another one here, so yeah. And wilt thou, my son, be ravished with a strange woman, and embrace the bosom of a stranger? Okay, no, don't take on those different philosophies, man. All right, and 2/3 of our people have taken on WTC. This is why they're sick. Okay, they have none understanding, man. Okay, they're drinking the philosophies of this society once again. Okay, they're drunken with it. Revelation chapter 18 and verse 4. Let me start from 3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacy. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. Now the main point is, for all nations have drunken of the wine of her wrath, man. Okay? And especially of our people. Okay? They've taken on the philosophies of Esau Edom, time after time after time. And not just this society, different societies. Okay? All societies that we've been captive under. They've taken on, 2/3 have taken on that, identities and so on and so forth. Take forth Timothy's father, if I'm not mistaken. Says that his father was a Greek and his mother was a Jewess. Okay, let me see that real quick. Let me see if I can find that. No, I don't think it's here, but father was a Greek. Yeah. So it was a woman, Jewish, and his father was a Greek, yeah. So, this is exactly what our people have done. These bywords, these proverbs, they've taken it on and say, yeah, I'm African American, I'm Jamaican, I'm Trini, I'm Bayesian, I'm so on and so forth. I'm whatever, that's not who you are. You're an Israelite, okay? You've drunken of these people's philosophies, okay? And going back into that, yeah, this is why going back into Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 8, starting on down, like we read before, and say to the seer, see not, prophesy unto us right things, smooth things, prophesy deceit, turn Yahweh Shem Yahushua away, because they want those philosophies, man. They're captivated by it. They're in lust with it. They have a deep desire for it. Okay? They're sick. Okay? This is why I said that the whole head is sick, man. All right? You got these pastors who are doing these things with kids, popes, so on and so forth. Okay? Not just that shit, but the people of the congregation, they're doing wicked shit too. And they do what? Same thing what, back in the day Israel would do. Run to a priest, a bullock, goat, whatever, for the sacrifice. And then the next week they doing the same shit. They're doing it in vain. So the same thing they're doing with the confession box. Run the confession box. The next week they out there committing adultery, all types of shit. Right? So they don't really believe in Yahweh Shem Yahushua. They want some smooth route. Okay? Deceits. Prophesy unto deceits, man. So don't you see the sickness that comes with WTC, that wacky-tacky Christianity? Okay? And this is why going back into, 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 3, but if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them lost, in whom the God of this world, right? Who's the power of this world right now, man? Esau Edom. He's in charge, right? And he took down our image, put up his own image, and you know what comes with that image. You know the reputation that comes with that image. The reputation that comes with Yahweh Shem Yahushua is righteousness. The reputation that comes with that blue-eyed, blonde-haired hippie, is wickedness, man. That guy was raping his sister and his father. Okay? And how was America and so on and so forth established? It was established by blood. These niggas are all over the world with that, that same image and the cross and so on in every other country, man. That's why the scriptures talk about the whore that sitteth on many waters, man. Military occupation all over the world from the new Babylon, America. Okay, so going back into this, in whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, least the light of the glorious gospel of Hamashiach, who is the image of God, should shine onto them. Okay, and they don't know it. Okay, because they're blinded by that philosophy, the philosophy of WTC, which makes them sick, man. I mean, I could have put up more images. I could have put up more, images of these things right here. But already. And when you go to Vocab, G-Man, God Logic, Sam Moose, all the rest of those fucking weirdos, okay? You don't see nothing of this on their page. Who do you see reporting on it? The prophets of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. That's it. Okay? So, you already know what it is, but this the sickness that comes with WTC, man. That wacky tacky Christianity, man. Bullshit. Okay? Remember this country, both these countries from top to bottom, okay, was established. The West Indies, all that was established with that, you know, that image, okay, and that message that comes with that image. So Christianity is a virus that made our people sick, man. You're damn right, okay, because they believe that they could do anything and be saved. All right, just believe, just believe. No, love is an action. You gotta do. You gotta sacrifice. Make your body a living sacrifice, man. You can't just do whatever the fuck you want. Just like in society, there's laws, statutes, rules. You gotta follow it. It's like a guideline. You go off, that's it. There's penalties. That's the same thing with the Most High. Most High don't want you to eat pork. Him and his son. You don't want him to eat pork and all that bullshit and commit these wicked acts. You crazy? You know? But they want any excuse. That's why the scriptures tell you. Let me find this real quick before I close out. Let me go this real quick. Sirach chapter 32 and 17. A sinful man will not be reproved. And that's exactly what these guys out here, oh, you guys about hate, so on and so forth. No, we're telling you what the scriptures say, man. We're telling you the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. We're giving you instruction. But what? A sinful man will not be reproved, but findeth an excuse according to his will. Okay? And you don't have the fear of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You don't have that necessary patience. You don't have that discipline. You don't have integrity. Hey, the Lord's not dealing with you, man. Okay? And much more on top of that, too. But, don't you see sickness that comes with WTC, that wacky-tacky Christianity? That blue-eyed, blonde-haired, Cesare Borgia, something made up in the 1600s. You rather follow that because that's the easy route. That's the route to sin, iniquity, transgression, right? And it feels good, pleasurable to your flesh, right? And then he puts the fear of death on you. Hey, we can see, what comes with that shit. And it's nothing but death and destruction, man. And sickness. Going back into this. Look at this. You know what I mean? And like I said, where's Vocab and all the rest of them? David Lynn, all the rest. Where are you guys? Why is it that you guys are just running after the Hebrew Israelites, man? Meanwhile, we're hitting the points, you know? But y'all ain't hitting nothing. So with that, hey, all praises, all honor, all glory be unto Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakak Kodash. Double honors to the apostle, elders, the supreme millstone that rule well. Peace and salutation to Allah, Akim, doing and pushing his word in sincerity and truth worldwide. And the sincere shalom to the elect. I hope you're edified, Lord willing, to the next time, Akim Shalom and Abad Babad.